ESG claims its first victim, and that is Sri Lanka. Okay, Sri Lanka fully embraced the ESG. What exactly is the ESG? It's, why all of these companies decide that, we really need to double down on these woke policies. Okay, we need to double down on climate change support. Okay, we need to always support Black Lives Matter. That's what ESG is. ESG is the economic, social, environment, social, and governance. That's what that means, right? And it's fully implemented and it's endorsed by the WEF. So that's why it's out there, and that will give you a little bit of an insight. I want to do a full video on ESG score, but there's been so many of these little stories that have been going around. It's just kind of backed up. It's one of my long-term projects. But again, okay, Sri Lanka went whole hog. It was one of the first big experiments to see if this type of ruling policy could be effective, and guess what? Lo and fucking behold, it has ended with, a president stepping down and everybody just pissed off, angry, hungry, thirsty, and just with nothing to fucking lose. So shit's looking bad, my guys. Sri Lanka's president, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, sure, will step down next Wednesday. Oh, so this upcoming Wednesday. Terrific. The country's parliamentary speaker said on Saturday, bowing to popular pressure after a day of violent protests in which demonstrators stormed the presidential office residence and set fire to the prime minister's home in Colombo. Hey, man, you fucked everybody's life. You reap what you sow. Hey, I'm not calling that for anybody else out there, but then again, hey, man, you do fuck shit. You win the fruits of your labor. Sorry. The announcement came after a dramatic escalation in months of largely peaceful anti-government protests over a dire economic crisis on the Indian Ocean island of 22 million people. 22 million people left destitute thanks to the World Economic Forum. Cool. Great. Wonderful. Speaker Mahida Yapa, I'm not even going to begin to be able to pronounce that. Wardena, that wasn't too bad. Said in a video statement, Rajapaksa had informed him he will be stepping down from his post. The decision to step down on July 13th was taken to ensure a peaceful handover of power. Very peaceful, right? Just take a look outside your window. Oh, fuck, it ain't that peaceful anymore. Abby said, whatever. I therefore request the public to respect the law and maintain peace. Yeah, get fucked. You want to see what's going on out there? It looks something like that everywhere. The news of the president's decision triggered an eruption of celebratory fireworks in parts of Colombo. Prime Minister Ranwal W. Also said he is willing to resign to make way for an all-party government. His office said in a statement on Saturday evening. I don't like the way that goes. That doesn't sound good. It sounds like government is getting dissolved and then you're just gonna have one-party rule. I don't like that. That sounds like communism. Anyways, it was not yet clear if this would quell popular anger. I don't know. We're seeing an uprising outside. Something better fucking happen. Throughout the day, soldiers and police were unable to hold back a crowd of chanting protesters demanding the former fuck, he gone, okay? Resignation and blaming him for the country's worst economic crisis in 7 fucking decades. And they were doing all right until they started to embrace the policies of the World Economic Forum. And then they fucking didn't, okay? Inside the president's house during Saturday's protest, a Facebook live stream. No, normally these radicals, they use Telegram. Anyways, Facebook live stream showed hundreds of protesters, some draped in the national flag, packing into rooms and corridors. We can see it right there, okay? There looks like, just a bunch of peaceful protesters right there. It looks awfully fucking familiar. Video footage showed some of them splashing in the swimming pool. Why does your president have a swimming pool? I don't know. I'm pretty sure the White House probably has a swimming pool, but if your country's, kind of a fucking shithole, should you really be living the life of luxury? I don't really think so. It's not really a good look. I guess that's why your place got stormed. Oh, well. Fewer swimming pools, better security. The more you know. While others sat on a 4-poster bed and sofas. Oh, okay, great. There was 4 of them on the bed. Anyways. Some could be seen emptying out the chests and drawers and images that were widely circulated on social media. I've seen a little bit of this, but not really a hell of a lot more. Hundreds milled about in the grounds of the colonial-era whitewashed residence with few security personnel in sight. Raja had left the official residence of the president on Friday as a safety precaution ahead of the planned weekend demonstrations, two defense ministry sources said. Interesting. He's going to be leaving on Friday, so don't you guys be violently protesting in there, okay? We'll just make sure that the swimming pool's cleaned out. Reuters could not immediately confirm his whereabouts. Don't really care. He's resigning anyways. Get fucked. Just like the former president of Afghanistan. He just left with hundreds of $1 million. Nobody's ever seen him since. Weird. Later on Saturday, video footage on a local news channel showed a huge fire and smoke coming from Big Dub's private home in the affluent Colombo neighborhood. His office said the protesters had started a fire. Oh well. There is no immediate reports of injuries in the blaze. Big Dub's had moved to a secure location, a government source told Reuters earlier that day. But again, same thing applies for him as does for the president. At least 39 people, including 2 police officers, were injured and hospitalized during the protest, hospital sources told Reuters. Bro, you should just get out of the way. You guys are on the wrong fucking side. The country is struggling under the severe foreign exchange shortage that has limited essential imports of fuel, food, and medicine. Yeah, exactly. Why do you think there's so many farmers protesting in Europe right now? They don't want to face the fate of Sri Lanka, plunging it into the worst economic crisis since independence in 1948. Soaring inflation, which reached a record of 54.6% in June, is expected to hit 70 in coming months, has heaped hardship on the population. Yeah, no shit. The old wheelbarrows full of, I don't know what Sri Lankan currency is. But doing that in order to get a loaf of bread, yeah, man, that shit don't play anymore. The decision by the president and prime minister to step aside comes after Dubs held talks with several political party leaders to decide what steps to take forward following the unrest. The big step, off a short pier. That would be your best shot right now. W. Singh, there we go, has told party leaders he is willing to resign as prime minister and to make way for an all-party government takeover. He said, Parliamentary Speaker Abiy said in a letter to Raja, several decisions have been made at the meeting of party leaders, including the president and prime minister resigning as soon as possible, and parliament being called within 7 days to select an acting president. Under the acting president the president of parliament can appoint a new prime minister and an interim government. Afterwards, under a set time, an election can be held for the people to elect a new parliament. The president and the prime minister must resign immediately, and they've already done that. So the economic crisis, Jesus, that looks crazy. Political instability could undermine Sri Lanka's talks with the International Monetary Fund. As it seeks a $3 billion bailout, the restructuring of some foreign debt and fundraising from multilateral and bilateral sources to ease the dollar drought. The economic crisis developed under the COVID pandemic hammered the tourism-reliant economy and slashed remittance from overseas workers. It had been compounded by the buildup of hefty government debt, rising oil prices, and a ban on the import of chemical fertilizers last year that devastated agriculture. The fertilizer ban was reversed in November, but no, it has something to do with Ukraine prices, right? Oh, okay, cool. So there was no ban. Oh, okay, cool, great. However, many blame the country's decline on economic mismanagement by Rajapaksa. I think I got it. And there have been months of largely peaceful protests demanding his resignation. And guess what? They weren't being heard, so they weren't largely peaceful anymore. They started to look a little bit like this. Before breaking into the government buildings on Saturday, boom, the protesters dismantled several police barricades in Colombo's government district. Big fucking ups to the Sri Lankan people. If your government doesn't represent your wills and they aren't taking care of what you find to be important, they are no longer your fucking government. And if there's enough of you in agreement on that, You act like Sri Lankans do. But hey, man, maybe they just need to hit up Biden to get some extra cash. This fucking dude. Biden sends another $400 million to Ukraine. Oh, because that $40 billion wasn't enough that everybody signed off on. And then he also gave him another like 100 or 200 million. Okay, like there's been multiple payouts to Ukraine. It's like, what, just fucking write the check to Putin, because that's eventually where all this fucking money's going. But I thought Ukraine was winning this war like 3 months ago at this point. No, it wouldn't be that long. The Russian forces, they're so fucking incompetent. They're just sinking their tanks in the middle of Ukrainian fields, and they're just surrendering en masse. Any day now, they'll turn back, they'll turn tail and run. Why they keep bilking everybody for cash, right? No, exactly. I guess, right. Zelensky just got a quote back on his brand new studio, so he'll have better sound, better video equipment for whenever he does his talking head spots on whatever show will have him. I'm sure that's probably what this is for, right? Biden administration on July 8th announced sending another $400 million. At least it's not billions this time. In aids to Ukraine, to meet critical needs for the Ukrainian fight in the ongoing Ukraine-Russia war. Meet critical needs for Ukraine's fight. Sending them another $400 million in aid. Remember how much futzing there was and going over to figure out how to send out $600 checks to American citizens? Took them months to figure that shit out. Mostly it was just because it was a political ploy in order to make Trump look bad, but took them how long? $600. And so far, they've sent north of $45 billion off to Ukraine. Okay. Money comes from the presidential drawdown of equipment from the Pentagon's inventories, the 15th such organization for Ukraine since August 2021 under the Biden administration. Yep, no, exactly. Inflation's a problem, supply chain problems. You know, it's easy. Just pressing a couple of buttons and wire transferring a whole bunch of your money, people. Exactly. Hashtag stand with Ukraine, however much it costs. Unbelievable. Security aids will be especially important and effective in assisting Ukraine and cope. What a bunch of flowery fucking nothing. And coping with the Russian artillery battle. And the Ukraine's Donbass region, a senior defense official told reporters on July 8th. Yeah, no, that's really nice and shit. But again, what was Putin's demands? Get rid of your Nazi element from your military. Okay, recognize the independence. What the Donbass people want. Recognize their independence in those two provinces. I can't remember their name specifically, but it's the Donbass region. Okay, just do that and don't join NATO. Stay fucking neutral in this fight. We'll be done and dusted. But again, Zelensky doesn't want to engage in talks because Putin's dying or something like that. I don't know, he's got a shaky hand in some video. Yeah, he's just days away from losing this fight. Get fucked at this point. Keep doing shit like this, Biden. And don't worry, man. January 6th will have a fucking sequel. I'm just saying. Not calling for anything. I'm just, trying to read the tea leaves. Because, hey, man, if Sri Lankan people can take to the streets and if they can recreate a scene like that, all you need to do is just replace the Sri Lankan flag with one that says Trump 2020. You got a pretty one-to-one comparison right there, so you best fucking watch your next step, stupid. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.